Hi friends, in today's lesson we're going to talk about area. Area is the amount of space there is on a flat surface, or the amount of space a 2D shape covers or occupies. Here's a grid. For the sake of this lesson, we're going to pretend that each square is 1 centimeter in length and width. Here's a large purple square. We're looking at area, so we're interested in finding how much space this square covers. Let's count the squares to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The area of this large purple square is 9 centimeters squared. Let's do another example. Here's a rectangle. We're looking to find the area, so we're interested in knowing how much space this rectangle covers. Let's count the squares to find the area of this rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The area of this rectangle is 8 centimeters squared. The length of this rectangle is 4. We can use a lowercase l to represent the word length, and the width of this rectangle is 2. We'll use a w to represent the word width. The formula to find the area of a rectangle is length times width, so let's plug in our numbers. When we multiply those numbers together, we'll find the area of a rectangle, which is 8 centimeters squared. We'll find the area of this rectangle using that formula because it's not on a grid and we can't simply count the squares. The length is 7, and for the sake of this video, we'll say that that's 7 centimeters, though it's not to scale. So L, or length, is 7. Our width is 3, W3. Let's plug those numbers into the formula. Area equals length times width, so 7 times 3. This rectangle has an area of 21 centimeters squared. Let's do another example. Let's measure the length, or the longest side, of this rectangle. So our length is 6. The width is 2. Let's plug these numbers into our formula. Area equals length times width, so 6 times 2. The area of this rectangle is 12 centimeters squared. Think of this formula, area equals length times width, when you're measuring the area of a shape that isn't on a grid. Let's look at finding the area of irregular polygons. We can still use our formula, area equals length times width. Here's our grid. We have this shape. We could count the squares, or we can try using our formula. We're looking to find the area, so we're considering how much space this shape takes up. We can't simply plug this length into the formula because that means we're not considering over here. And if we forget about that, we're not considering all of this empty space. So we need to consider this. We also can't simply plug this width in because at the top that won't work due to this empty space. So we need to consider just this width. For that reason, we're going to divide this shape into 2 rectangles. We'll call this large rectangle A and this little guy B. Let's look at A first. We'll use our formula length times width. The length is 6 because it's 6 squares tall. The width is 3 because it's 3 squares wide. If we multiply those numbers together, we'll find an area of 18 centimeters squared for that large rectangle. Now let's look at B. We'll use our formula, area equals length times width. The length is 3 because it's 3 square centimeters tall. The width is 2 because it's 2 square centimeters wide. We'll multiply them together to find an area of 6 centimeters squared for rectangle B. To find the total surface area of our shape, we need to add the area of rectangle A with the area of rectangle B. Let's do that over here. Area of A plus the area of B, we have a total area of 24 centimeters squared. Sometimes our shapes won't be on a grid, so we can't simply count the squares. Often, the lengths of the sides will be given to you, and if not, we can use a ruler to measure them. We can use our formula, area equals length times width. We'll divide this shape up into 3 rectangles. 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at rectangle A first. We'll use our formula. The length is 4, and the width is 2. When we plug that into our formula and multiply them together, our area for A is 8 centimeters squared. Let's look at B. We'll use our formula again. The length of B is 9 centimeters. Now let's look at the width of B. We're looking for just that height, but we don't have that number, but we can find it. Consider this length. It's 5 centimeters from the bottom to the top. And over here we know that this length is 2 centimeters. If we take 2 away from 5, we'll be able to find the measurement right here. 5 take away 2 is 3, so the width of B is 3. When we multiply our length and width together, we have an area of 27 centimeters squared for B. Let's work with C. Remember your formula, area equals length times width. The length is 3, and the width is 3. The area of C is 9 centimeters squared. To find the total area, we need to add the area from A, B, and C together, which is 44. The total area for our shape is 44 centimeters squared. Area can also be written like this: area of A plus the area of B plus the area of C, which would be 4 times 2 plus 3 times 9 plus 3 times 3. Remember, we always do the work in the parentheses first. That leaves us with 8 plus 27 plus 9 for a total area of 44 centimeters squared. I hope this video helps you understand what area is and how to calculate it.